Aloha and welcome to my second video in my Punisher Circle of Blood series. This goes over the plot of issue 1 and my general thoughts on that issue. There's going to be spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this video, but instead watch my first video I put out yesterday. It should be yesterday, and that goes over the binding of this particular copy I have that's still being sold on Amazon currently. And the binding and my general thoughts on the entire series. So if you want to just check out that, the card in the top right, and if you want to know more and you want to know different plot details on particular issues, I'm going to be going through every single issue and break it down. And this is me breaking down issue 1. Aloha and welcome back to another video. Today I'm covering Punisher Circle of Blood. It was a mini-series that released in 1986, spanned across that year, and here's the beautiful back. And it's part of the Marvel Premiere line, or Premiere Classics line, I should say. And as you can see, once I took that dust jacket off, that it's just a beautiful, beautiful book. And it was inked by John Beatley, penciled by Mike Zeck and Mike Vosberg, and it was written by Stephen Grant and Joe Duffy. This first story in Punisher Circle of Blood, I don't think a double-sized issue. It doesn't have a name, it doesn't look like. The Punisher is just being put into prison for acts that happened before this book. This was actually, the Punisher's first appearance was in a Spider-Man issue. Previously he was a bad guy and such, but because money, and he was such a popular character, they decided to give him his own series. But instead of throwing him right into an ongoing series, they gave him a mini-series, and this is it. And he did some vile acts and such, and those vile acts, well, he was being the Punisher, I should say, and he was thrown in prison. And you can see here they're going over his origins and his family that was killed by the mob, and his life when he was a Vietnam soldier. And in prison, it's just, you right off the bat here, he's being the Punisher right off the bat, Sometimes it may take time for characterizations to fully kind of form, or for the kind of modern version of what a character is, of what we expect a character to be. It may take a while for them to become who we know them as, but in this, the Punisher is acting like the Punisher right off the bat. It's great. Everyone is intimidated by him. He's kicking butt, taking names, as you can see here, and it's great. There's a whole underground, the whole police system is entirely corrupt in prison, and Jigsaw, as you can see here, before this, he's the Punisher was the one that messed up his face with a glass bottle. No, he's gonna do it to him with a glass bottle, excuse me. And he pushed him out a window, he fought him and he fell out a window, I think it was, something like that, and it messed up his face, and they're gonna now mess up his face. But he's able to get out just in time, as you can see, and the guards come over to rescue Jigsaw because the whole system is corrupt. But they let him go, and they actually side with the Punisher, and they're going to use him to try to get out of prison and cause, basically sneak out. And they still don't know if they can trust him and everything, so they actually just say that just to get him off their back, basically, and they actually go into his cell to try and kill him in the night. But the Punisher was too smart in that regard, and was wearing or covered himself in part of a mattress, or part of the mattress. And that was the thing, because the fake bottle silencer that they use slows down bullets. Silencers normally do, but a fake silencer like that slowed down the bullets so much that it didn't actually go through a mattress. He knew that. And it's just awesome, the Punisher's always one step ahead of everybody, and he breaks into the watchtower, and he's fighting guys off, and is fighting the the different guards there, and it's just crazy. And he's fighting, because he's fighting two groups of people, right? He's fighting the prison guards, which are corrupt, and he's fighting the bad guys in prison that are trying to escape, but he's also trying to escape. It's just crazy. The art is fantastic, as you can see. It's, you could say it's cruder than some pieces of modern art, but I quite like it. It has a lot of character to it, and I like a lot of the colors, and I'm a big fan of it. You got cool reflection and like light there, and the way it kind of casts across windows and onto skin and the folds on things. It's all just very well done, and non-stop action. For a first issue, this is one of the best first issues I've ever read. I haven't read a lot of first issues, don't get me wrong, but I've read enough, I've read enough comics to say that this is up there for me, and I feel like it's going to stay up there for me. It's fantastic. It's non-stop action, and you got a riveting scene towards the very end where the warden is put at gunpoint, and they tell the Punisher, no, don't get any closer. If you come any closer, we're going to shoot the warden. But either the Punisher, that's the kind of thing you kind of wonder as a new reader. The readers in 1986 probably wondered this, and this being one of the first pieces, not the first, but one of the first pieces of material of the Punisher that I've actually read. It's also, I'm kind of in the same boat where you kind of wonder, is he really going to, you never know if he was actually bluffing, that he was actually going to shoot the guy and not care if the warden died or not. You kind of wonder, does he know that he's kind of a kingpin, but anyways, does he know that they're not actually going to shoot the warden, or did he just not care, right? So that's super cool, and he's able to stop them just in time, but the soldiers rush in, but instead of taking him back to prison, the warden actually wants him, and they want him to be part of something called the Trust, which is this secret organization that is supposed to try and stop and try and counter the increasing amount of violence and corruption that is filling the streets. So they're going to use the Punisher as basically their ace to kind of stop crime and the war on crime. And but before it ends, you get to see that there's a talk between a Italian family and one of the mobsters. I think it's his uncle, is telling this guy here that he needs to avenge his father, and that his father was one of the guys that the Punisher killed before the Punisher landed in prison, and that he owes it to his father to avenge his death. So that sets up the precedent of what the book will cover later on.